All right, so today we're gonna make wooden dice. And what I'm gonna use is this 3/4 of an inch thick piece of wood. I think this is pine, I'm not really that sure. For this word working, it doesn't really matter, or at least I don't think so much of what wood you use. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to measure, since this dice are square, and this is 3/4 of an inch thick, I'm gonna measure 3/4 of an inch from this edge up.
And I'm going to do that real fast.
All right, that might be a little overkill with markings, but now I'm gonna take my T-square, land it flat against the edge, line up my marks, and draw a line. And there we go. Now I'm going to take it to the circular saw and cut it off. All right, so now that I made this cut, and so we got one side, now we got the second side. Now what we're gonna do is I made a stop block on my miter saw, so it should stop at 3/4 of an inch. And that should make it into these squares into a perfect square. All right, so now that we have these dice blanks cut, as you can see, the cut wasn't the cleanest in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sandpaper, which I think this is 220. Yeah, this is 220. And I'm just going to just lightly hit it on all surfaces. Just like that. There you go. Now that's all cleaned up. So now I'm going to do that on all of these sides, on all these dice, excuse me, on all their sides. And I'll be right back when I get them all finished. What I've done is I have marked all the sides of the dice by connecting them from corner to corner. And it is very simple. Only thing you need is some kind of straight edge. I'm gonna be using this triangle, and I don't know how well it's gonna be able to see it, but I'm gonna lay on top of it, connecting from corner to corner, and it's just simply drawing a line like that, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other edge. There you go. So that's what you need to do, and it's very simple. So now you need to put the dots on the dice. Now this is a very simple thing you need to do. It's a very simple thing to do, excuse me. But there is an order that you need to do it, and it's very simple. So pretty much the rule is on dice, whatever is on this side, so a 1, and the opposite side, which is 6, if you add them together, should equal 7. So 1 plus 6 equals 7. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 3 plus 4 equals 7. So that's pretty much how you do it. you just need the opposite side of the die. So this side plus the opposite side, this side, to equal 7. And if you know that, then it's pretty basic. So let's just start out with a simple one. 1, which is in the very center of the die. There you go. 1. And then you just flip it to the other side, and you just need to put 6. This is a bad side, honestly, because it's hard to see. I want to see if I can make it a little bit easier. There you go. Maybe that's a little easier. I apologize because I didn't realize I was going to do this side. See if I can erase that real fast. There you go. That was better. Much better. Okay. So for 6, what I do is, if you want to make this exact and scientific or something like that, go ahead. I'm just doing this by freehand. So using the X, you just go something like right here, the center, like diagonal to the center, and then on the line again. And you do the same thing on the other side and try to line them up so they look uniform. So yeah, there you go. And now, let's find this 1. Now I'm going to go to the left of it, or excuse me, that's the right. And I'm going to just make a 2, which is about here and about here. Now I'm going to flip to the other side. So 2 plus 5 equals 7. So this is going to be a 5. So you just go about here, 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 and then center. And then finally, let's find, there's the 1. Let's go here, let's make it 3. 1, 2, 3. And then on the opposite side, it's gonna be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That is how you do it. That's how you make the dice, or with the dots numbered. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nail, or excuse me, screw, and I am going to poke where all the dots are supposed to be. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I will be using a Dremel bit, a Dremel circular bit. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. This Dremel bit right here, and I am going to be that's what I'm going to be using to carve in, if the camera will focus. Come on, focus. There it goes. And that's what I'm going to be using to drilling in all the little dots. So I'm just going to be pressing in. Well, I want the Dremel bit to have a kind of a reference point to carve all of these dots in, so it's not, so it stays somewhat uniform. And that's why I'm poking these little holes, because it'll just give the bit a reference point to drill into. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that with these die, and I will be right back. All right, so now that I got all the holes marked with the screw, got everything where I want it to be, I am going to take my Dremel with that small circular bit. I think this was in a set I got from Harbor Freight. These are like diamond bit things, so it works for what I need, and they were designed so you can use them with wood. But I'm just going to use my Dremel because that's what I have. And since I'm using my Dremel, always wear a face mask so you don't breathe in the sawdust. and wear ear protection so you don't go deaf or something. But yeah, that is what I'm gonna do now. So in this video, I am rushing to carve these dice and finish this video, but I just want to say, relax, take your time, don't rush this, because if you mess up, it's going to be kind of permanent on the dice. You might be able to make a small little nick on the dice and no one will notice it, but just relax, take your time, don't panic. I'm hustling through this video and I've already made a mistake on the 3 on this dice, and I was kind of upset about that, but there's not a lot I can do at this point, so just relax, take your time, and enjoy the process. So I just wanted to say that real quick. It might seem like we're done now, but we need to round off the edges, because otherwise you're just having this sharp edge dice. And if you want that, you can do that, but I'm going to use some sandpaper and just lightly knock off the sharpness of these edges. I've seen other YouTubers out there who have done this whole thing with making it one of those like round dice. I'm not going to do that, mainly because that's a lot more complicated and it takes a lot more work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of 100 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to use some 220 here, and I'm just going to round off the edges of this die. And I'm just using a rough grit just so I can quickly get it knocked off. But yeah. Alright, so I now have them all done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use Old English. Old English for light wood. Mainly because I think I did this before and the oil covering looks really nice. Also, the furniture wax, which I use for my other projects. If you do not wipe away the excess wax, it will turn white, and I don't want that because these are little holes I did with the Dremel, and I don't want wax to get stuck in there and then turn white and then kind of ruin it. So I think an oil finish will do well. Plus, when I did it pressed inward, it kind of created this burn mark, so it kind of made the little dot black, which is kind of nice. So, just put some Old English on and rub it about. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, so that's all you gotta do. Or at least that's what I'm gonna do. If you want to put some kind of other finish on it, like can paint these, by all means, do it. I just want to do this oil finish, because I like how it looks, and it's pretty simple. And that's what I have on me at the time. So, but yeah. So that's it pretty much for the project. You just need to do that. So, once the finish has dried, I'll be right back. Alright, so that's it for this project. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want to. And I hope you all have a good day. Bye.